One third of potato chips is fat. They write it on the label actually, and they correctly write it. This is out of 100 grams. About 58% is carbohydrates. What they don't write is how much is trans fats, or they write, then they don't write it correctly. And we will get back. I'll get back to you on that. So the least trans fat we found was in Bingo Oe Pudina, which was 0.6 grams, and the highest was in March 2012 batch of Lay's American Style Cream and Onion, which was 3.7 grams. So you have a range on trans fat in potato chips. What about salt? No one writes how much salt the food contains. So least was in Lay's, and the highest was in Uncle Chips. That's what we found. They were correct on total fats and carbs. They didn't give salt. They were wrong on trans fats. There was mislabeling, and I'll come back to that. But what these numbers mean? Essentially, these numbers are that if you take a standard packet of these potato chips and if you eat it, you finish about half of your daily fat. It contains 33 grams fat, and every day you are allowed 60 grams. So you finish a pack, and then for the rest of the meal you only have to get 30 grams of fat is available to you. If you eat more of fat, you become more fat. That's the story. So this is about potato chips. Also, if you Lay's, for example, has 3.5 grams, 3.7 grams of trans fat. Our budget for trans fat is only about 2.5 grams. So if you munch a packet of Lay's, for that day, you have exceeded your trans fat budget. That's what potato chips is all about. Also, they are very salty. So you exhaust about 60 to 70% of your salt. After eating a pack of any one of these, you are really left with very little salt, very little fat from rest of your diet. Let's look at Indian snacks. As I said, we tested Kurkure Masala Munch and Haldiram's Aloo Bhujia. Again, they were correct on what they wrote about total fat and carbs. They were wrong about what they wrote about trans fats, which is more dangerous. And they didn't write how much salt they contain. So for example, Kurkure had 0.7 grams of trans fat, and Haldiram Aloo Bhujia had 2.5 grams of trans fat. Again, Haldiram Aloo Bhujia had 3.3 grams of salt, and Kurkure had half, about 1.6 grams. Basically, if you eat aloo bhujia and too much of aloo bhujia, you will get a heavy dose of salt and trans fat. And if you eat a full pack of Kurkure, which is a little tedha, you exhaust 1/3 of your calorie quota. So that's about Indian snacks. Coke and Pepsi, they write how much salt they contain. They say that we have about 30 grams of salt, about 11 grams of salt in 100 ml. Sugar in 100 ml. Now, we tested, we found a little higher. Essentially, our added sugar diet is 20 to 25 grams per day. So if you take a 330 ml or 300 ml of bottle of soft drink, you actually exhaust in one bottle your entire added sugar quota. Then you can't have tea, you can't have anything else after that. No added salt from any other food. Sugar, sorry, I'm getting back to salt. No. Let's look at instant noodles. We tested Maggi Masala, and we also tested top ramen noodles. Again, they were right as far as fat and carbs were concerned, and this we found repeatedly in all the samples. More or less, they wrote correctly how much fat they had and how much carbohydrate they had. They put wrong information about salt, and they put wrong information about trans fat. Both of them very dangerous. So you had, Maggi had 0.6 gram of trans fat, it didn't write anything. Top ramen had 0.7 gram trans fat, it said 0 trans fat. So I'll get back to that issue later. Again, similarly for salt, they both had very high quantity of salt. So if you take one packet of these noodles, and people do eat, some of us do eat every evening, you actually finish your salt quota for the day with one Maggi packet. Then don't think about adding salt anywhere else. whether in vegetable or dal or in any egg that you want to eat. Burgers, we tested 6 of them. We found them to be highly salty, lot of empty calories. In fact, a lot of calories came from refined carbohydrates. Non-veg were very high on fat. In fact, 40 to 45% of energy in non-veg burgers came from fat, whereas in veg burgers about 55% came from refined carbohydrates. So you have this food which is highly salty, non-veg is fatty and very high on empty calories. That's what burgers are all about. But we never eat burger alone. We eat it with fries and with soft drinks. I'll get back to that again. Look at fries. We tested 3 fries. They had probably the maximum amount of trans fats. And if you take a medium fries, 150 grams, which is very small, you exceed your daily safe limit for trans fat. As simple as that. So that was, and this value is not available. So if you look at burger, or if you look at fries, or if you look at pizza, you have to go to their website to find what is the nutritional claim they are making. They are not on the package. At least pre-packaged food, from bhujia to chips, do write on their package. Pizza, we tested actually only veg pizza. I don't remember why I said that, but only veg and only the basic version. We found them to be low on fat, salt and trans fat, but very high on refined carbs again. Very lot of empty calories. That's pizza all about. But as I said, last most important KFC fried chicken. If you eat 2 pieces, which is about 250 grams, you again exceed your trans fat and total fat, both of them. Very, very heavy fatty food. This is. But we don't eat it alone. That's the story. The story is we eat it in combo. So this is the combo of KFC, which has a chicken burger, which has a piece of chicken, which has a fries, and a 300 ml soft drink. Now what does this combo mean?